Meow, meow.
Hi, we're back and we're ready to try to make Chartres Cathedral. Today I'm going to teach you how to do a rose window and Gothic stained glass windows and Gothic and ribbed vaults here, as you see in the door. Remember, when you're doing this, you don't have to copy any of the historic buildings that you did to make an exact replica. You can get creative. You can take any of the demos from any of the videos and mix and match. So today what we're going to do is we're going to start by thinking about some of the tools that you might need. So today you might need some sort of circle template. You might need some Sharpies, and you might need a piece of acetate. This is acetate. I found that I had some of these in my files. If you don't have anything like that, you can check and see if you end up getting a piece of mail that has one of these windows in it. Those work perfect, and if you don't have that, try wax paper or maybe saran wrap. That's just the things that I thought off of the top of my head, but you might find that you have some other ideas that might work great too. So happy experimenting. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your cardboard and trace your circle. And then you're going to want to cut that out. And then for these, I made a template so that I just had to do one. So the first thing I did was I traced an inch thick rectangle, and then I made notches at the midpoint and then an inch down. Then I drew that arc up to a point like that and cut it out. So I got this. So then I could put that on my cardboard and just trace around it 5 times. Then you're going to want to do your door, and I did exactly the same thing. I drew a rectangle, and then I drew a notch here on this side, 1 inch down, and a notch here, 1 inch down, and I drew these arcs up to that point in the middle, and then I cut that out. Other pieces of scrap paper or scrap cardboard, you can make the smaller interior parts here that you can see that I did. Those are called ribbed vaults, and then I just glued those behind before I glued it on. And you can see, I'll show you that I glued that onto a box, but there's a space between where I put the cardboard pieces. The other thing I did was I made some pieces of cardboard to use for steps, as you can see here. And all I did was cut them a little bit smaller than the one before it, put a piece of glue on, and then put it on top and let that dry. Then that will go underneath your facade. This is called a facade. So once you do your circle on your cardboard, you're going to take your acetate and with a Sharpie, trace around. I read a little bit about these before I started, and it said that these rose windows are divided into 12 segments, and I did that on mine. So if you think about dividing up your circle into 12 spaces and doing some kind of design that you like, that is a great idea. If you want to go rogue and do your own design or just make a rose window, that's totally fine with me. Just have fun. And so you're going to take your different colored Sharpies or different colored markers, and just as long as you keep it symmetrical, that sounds good. And then you can do the same thing for your Gothic windows above the doors. Go ahead and use this template that you cut and make 5 windows that way. Then you just tape them on the back to affix them to the cardboard, and then you have your windows there. Like always, if you have any questions, feel free to post on the progress report page. Please send me pics of your progress and any questions, any comments, any ideas, any different kind of tools that you'll use to make yours work. Remember, the most important thing is that you have fun doing this. So happy creating.